Yo, what's up guys? Your boy Nitrostorm here. Welcome back to Snowbreak Containment Zone. So, on my previous video I did a quote-unquote tier list, but now we're going to be doing another one. And that's because if you go to the shop here, there is this thing right here, Advanced Manifestation Invitation Letter. And this is basically a 5-star selector for one of the 5 standard banner operatives. So we have Lyfe Wild Hunt, Fritia Hush, Marian Swift, Fenny Coronet, and last but not least, Yao Winter Solstice. And this tier list is basically split into 2 different lists. As you can see here, we have the most worth getting tier list, assuming they are all new, and a most worth getting tier list, assuming they are all dupes. Pretty straightforward stuff. Let's get cracking. So we'll start off with the first character on the list, and that is Wild Hunt Lyfe. Now, I'll try and make this video as fast as possible. So I've got a lot of experience with her, right? So, you know, I've got a lot of dupes on her as well. At M0, she's pretty cool. She doesn't necessarily need her weapon. Her manifestations definitely help her out a lot. I'd say M3 is the maximum for efficiency. Her neuronics is 3 damage for her skills. And logistics, you can probably build it in a relatively decent amount of time because it's not limited. But overall, as M0, you're gonna have a hard time trying to have good uptime on the Frost Wolves because you're gonna have to wait 10 seconds for it to come back. However, overall, she is still a solid choice as a new character. But obviously, if everyone here is new, I would suggest picking the new character that you don't have yet for most worth getting, right? However, if everyone's a dupe, I would say that getting her to M1 or M3 is definitely the best choice for this, because her M1 is a massive upgrade and an M3 increases the consistency of her E that much further. Okay, let's now move on to Fritia Hush. So, unfortunately, I haven't really played her that much, right? But I have used her in the Haru Absconditus event, which is the previous version event to this one. And from what I've seen, she's mainly a ultimate damage spammer. So for logistics set, if you take a look at the recommended here, they want you to use this one, which definitely makes, as you can see, ultimate skill damage and an increased damage still after using ultimate skill. So pretty crazy ultimate damage skill spam there, and then this one obviously for that. Now, unfortunately, a lot of her improvements to skill damage, I mean ultimate skill, is locked behind manifestation. So for example, this one allows you to use your ultimate forever until U energy is depleted, and then this one recovers U energy when you keep hitting a burning target with the ultimate, and then she can burn targets with her E, her standard skill. And then there are other characters that can also burn the target as your supports. So obviously you're able to ult for longer, and your damage will just keep on ramping up because that's how the ultimate works. And obviously she'll be great. Because of this, unfortunately, in my opinion, she would still be okay, but there are still better options out there. So I'll just put her in between good and okay, right? I would say that's a good choice there. And then now for most worth getting in terms of dupes, I would definitely say she is a solid choice. I'm not sure which dupe yet, which is best for her. Actually, maybe between solid and good. It depends really. This is assuming everyone is M0, right? Assuming everyone is M0. Assuming M0. Well, no, not really assuming M0. So for her best manifestations are the first one and the third one. And then there's also the fourth one as well. So M1 or M3 or M4. There you go. Now let's move on to Marian Swift. So Marian Swift was the 5-star that I've gotten during the closed beta. Test, and there have been many changes to her ever since then, unfortunately, but overall I think she is still decent. Again, she is definitely one of the other characters that are definitely locked out. Just from my experience, and especially since the changes, she is definitely here as well. On par with Fritia Hush, mainly because, you know, compared to the other three, which is Lyfe, Fenny, and Yao, you know, she could be better. Now, is she better than Fritia Hush? I'm not really too sure. That's why I put them in the same bracket. Now, with dupes, so the way that she works, at M0, the reason I put her down is because you have to keep on pressing E before you shoot in order for it to work. But her first manifestation stops the cloud shot feather mark from disappearing, and so you can keep shooting anyway. So you could do E then shoot instead of E shoot, if that makes sense. And then her second manifestation, you know, just basically free damage. And then her M3 decreases the cooldown of cloud shot to 4 seconds, which is pretty big. Now obviously it might be even lower at higher levels, so that will be nice. And then this one, E, this is increasing the cloud shot damage, which is her standard skill. And then this one is pretty nice as well, which is M6. So very heavy investment. And so because of that, oh, actually I didn't actually show it during the screen, but obviously I have been talking about it. But in any case, I would put her here on between good and okay. No, I'll put her on good. That's mainly because her M1 is nice. But then M6. If you're aiming to M6 her, then it's okay, but you know, it's only one dupe, right? So it doesn't really work. I mean M5, sorry. And then M1 or M3 for her, and then actually this one is M4. Actually, M4 goes here. There you go. All right, now let's move on to Fenny Coronet. So unfortunately, I haven't used my selector on her yet, but from the looks of it, she is very nice, and I've heard that she doesn't need her dupes at all. But I mean, M1 does help out anyway. Like, this is just all very beneficial. But overall, her gameplay is pretty straightforward. You basically use your standard skill, and then she just shoots, and her fire rate goes up as well, so which is pretty nice. So you can do a lot of burst damage. Her ultimate, it's just like a just like free damage. Most of her nice playstyle comes from her standard skill. So yeah, because of that, you know, because of that pretty easy playstyle, I'll definitely put her up here. Probably solid, between solid and best. Actually, probably best, actually. Yes, best. She's the easiest to use, I think, on PC. And then her kit, and then her manifestation doesn't really lock her out. And then when it comes to getting dupes, I would put her on between good and solid. Now, this is because she doesn't need the dupes, but it's still a decent choice if you want to go for M1 or more. So M1 plus. There you go. Now, last but not least, we have Yao, Winter Solstice. So in my case, I'm currently trying to get her to M3, which will definitely be interesting to consider because it's kind of different, right? There's a different way of playing Yao once you get this up. But in any case, at M0, she is okay. Her ultimate can't be recharged by her E at M0. That's why it kind of holds her back. And at the same time, you know, it's kind of not really easy to use her with the sniper rifle. I mean, obviously you can snipe and stuff, but like her ultimate, no one really says it, but when you shoot with her sniper rifle, it takes a little bit of, it takes a few seconds, probably like 1 second. It takes 1 second for it to charge up and then shoot. So if you're not really used to that kind of delay, then you might more than often miss than actually hit the target while in ultimate form. So there is that to consider. So I'm gonna put her here. Actually, I'll put her in solid. She's like just as good as Lyfe at M0 in my opinion. So something like this. And then for dupes. Now dupes definitely change her up a lot. So first off, her M1 allows your standard skill to replenish a bullet during her ultimate form, which has the 5 limited bullets. This is very strong because this gives you more ammo to shoot during ultimate form, which basically drastically increases her damage output, assuming you get the hits in. And then her M2, this is again very strong because it reduces the cooldown to 3 seconds. I mean, I think it meant to be reduces cooldown by 3 seconds. So instead of a 9-second cooldown, it becomes a 6-second cooldown during the ultimate. Again, increasing damage output for free. And then her M3, which I'm going for, you recover a lot of U energy recovery. This is mainly if you run out of standard skill, I think, or if you want to switch out, right? Switch out to other characters to get some, I don't know, damage or support in. This will help you with faster rotations. But if you're staying on ultimate forever, this M3 is, you know, you can say it's not really that useful. So with that in mind, I would definitely put Yao, I think on the same level as Wild Hunt in my opinion. So M1 or M2. There you go. So this is pretty much my my overall tier list, quote unquote. So this is assuming they are all new. So M0. I think Fenny would operate the best at M0, followed by Wild Hunt and Yao Winter Solstice, mainly because their kits are inherently strong to begin with. It's just that the manifestations unlock a newly kind of potential from their gameplay. And then these two, they require more investment than these two. You could say they require just about the same investment, like the same number of manifestations. It's just that these two are better than these two at base, if that makes sense. And then when it comes to dupes, then obviously these two rise up to the top, mainly because the first manifestation changes how they play, like from right off the bat. And then when it comes to Fritia Hush and Marian Swift, it's just that they do the gameplay also changes with M1s, but like the effect that they have compared to the effect that they get is not that high. And then when it comes to Fenny, she's still a good choice, but she doesn't really need the duplicates as far as I've heard. So that's pretty much my 2 tier lists, quote unquote. Hopefully you all find this kind of useful when it comes to choosing the characters from the selector, because it's basically free to get. I just haven't gotten it yet. But yeah, if you got any questions in regards to this tier list, or if you got any differing opinions, for example, maybe you don't agree, or maybe you're kind of angry at me because I'm not doing it correctly and stuff, you know, do let me know down in the comments below. In any case, it's been your boy Nitrostorm. I'll see you guys in the next stream or video. Peace.